Today we're going to talk about the basic components of your dog's diet. The three absolute basic components that have to be there as part of your dog's diet are proteins, carbs, and fats. While each of these is needed in different proportions in your dog's diet, each has its own importance and has to be present as part of the food. In upcoming videos, we'll be talking about each of these three things in more detail. Today we're going to talk about the absolute basics when it comes to picking food for your dog. What is it that you need to look for when you're picking out ingredients? Always look for ingredients that are pure, that are fresh. When it comes to fruits and vegetables, you're looking at fresh organic fruits and vegetables. Eggs, ideally pick free range eggs which are antibiotic as well as hormone free. When it comes to meats, you're looking at meats from pasture raised animals, again which are antibiotic and hormone free. Basically all it comes down is you're looking at clean foods. When we say clean foods, an argument would be that these tend to be far more expensive than normal foods. Well, look at it like this. Look at it as an investment in your pet's health. It's definitely going to pay off in the long run, because essentially when you're looking at clean, healthy foods, that means a very, very healthy dog, which means lesser medical bills. While you cannot control everything that happens in your dog's life, what you can most definitely control is what you put into his system, which is essentially the food. Proteins are the main component of your dog's diet. About 60 to 65% of your dog's diet has to be protein. For non-vegetarian dogs, of course, this protein comes from animal sources. For vegetarian dogs, it can come from plant sources. When we're talking about protein from animal sources, protein covers essentially the muscle meat, organ meat, fish as well as eggs. When it comes to feeding proteins, always remember it's not just about feeding any protein. The quality of the protein is very, very important, and variety is important as well. When we're talking about a variety of proteins, when we're talking about non-vegetarian dogs and protein from animal sources, you can source the proteins from various different animals like chicken, duck, mutton, pork, buffalo, beef. We're also looking at novel proteins which are quite freely available now: rabbit, quail, turkey, and so on. When it comes to protein sources for plant-based feeding, you're looking at things like tofu, you're looking at paneer, you're looking at legumes and lentils, you're looking at pulses like chickpeas, which are really good for them. Moong also works really, really well and is fairly easy to digest for dogs. I think one of the most often asked questions that goes on in our heads is, why is variety important? What's important to remember over here is that dogs don't require proteins per se. What they require are the amino acids which they are extracting from these proteins. Therefore, when you are providing your dog with a variety of proteins from different sources, what you're essentially doing is ensuring that they receive an optimum amino acid profile. Now, what this does is it ensures that your dog stays lean, helps him build tissue, as well as perform all the necessary functions which are required to maintain optimum health. Fats is the second most important component of your dog's diet. Ideally, about 30 to 40% of calories should come from fats. There's a lot of technical jargon that goes on nowadays about fats, but most of you would have heard of something called as omega-3s and omega-6s. These are basically two kinds of fatty acids, and both of these are very, very important for your dog. Good sources of omega-6 fatty acids are flax seeds or flaxseed oil, hemp seed or hemp seed oil, and pumpkin seeds. Most of the essential omega-3 fatty acids come from marine sources like fish and fish oils. However, for dogs which are either vegetarian or are allergic to fish, good sources of omega-3 are hemp seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds. Of late, you get a supplement which is called as krill oil, which is also a great supplement for omega-3. There's a whole lot of other technical stuff that comes into play when we're talking about fatty acids and balancing of these acids, etc., etc. Those of you interested in details, I will be definitely putting up a post soon with a more detailed and technical kind of inputs about fatty acids. You all can have a look at that post. Otherwise, in general, what you do need to remember for the fatty acids is both of these are important. And from a practical perspective, what's important to remember is when you're making recipes or you're cooking, feeding your dogs red meats or other ruminant meats like beef, buffalo, mutton, pork, balance it out using hemp seed oil. So your omega-3 and omega-6 ka balance gets maintained when you do that. Similarly, when you're using poultry recipes like chicken, duck, quail, for that use flaxseed oil and your omega-3, omega-6 kind of gets balanced out. That's the only thing that you need to remember from a practical perspective. I'd like to make a special mention here to cold pressed coconut oil. Although it is a saturated fat, it has immense number of therapeutic properties. It'll add a lot of benefits to your dog's health in a number of different ways if you are to include it as part of his or her diet. Today we're covering the last component of your dog's diet, which is carbohydrates. This of course is a much debated topic of whether or not dogs need carbohydrates. I'll be covering that in detail in an upcoming post. However, by and large, my belief is that yes, dogs do require carbohydrates for a number of reasons. Ideally, 20 to 25% of your dog's diet should come from fruits and vegetables. Now, the reason to feed carbs to dogs is that beyond providing energy, the good carbs contain a variety of nutrients which are very, very beneficial to your dog right at a cellular level. These functional carbohydrates promote optimum health in your dog, and denying your dog of these good carbohydrates also denies them of all the health benefits that comes from the nutrients that they contain. Broccoli, apples, leafy greens, carrots, sweet potatoes, French beans, berries are just a few examples of such functional carbs which are really, really beneficial for your dog. Buckwheat, oats, quinoa and brown rice are also good examples of starchy carbs which can be incorporated into your dog's diet if you want it to be. However, for atopic or dogs who have a lot of allergies, we would recommend you staying away from these grains because they do tend to be sources of allergic reactions among a lot of dogs. Just about sums up the basics of preparing food for your dog. There's going to be a whole different series that we're going to cover on the supplementation that's required when you're preparing home cooked food for your dogs. Stay tuned for that.